It's been a long time without you, my friends. And I'm gonna tell you about it, 'cause I've met you again. It's been a long way from when we did meet. And I'm gonna tell you about it, 'cause I've met you again. 'Cause I've met you again. Hello guys, hello beautiful people. Oh my god, it's been forever. Like 10 months? What the hell? Like Nala not posting on YouTube for 10 months? It's been a wild journey. But anyways guys, everyone, welcome back to Nala's Queendom. Nala here. It is Nala here and I am back. Wow. It's been forever. I don't even remember how to look into the camera. I'm like, I'm not like nervous, but it's been a very long time and wow, it is just nice to be back. Well, lovely to have you back. If you are a new subscriber or if you're a stranger, nice to have you here. My name is Nala. So today I'm just gonna be talking to you guys and telling you why I haven't been posting for the last 10 months, what's been happening in my life. Without any further ado, subscribe down below and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I post a new video. So let's get to the video.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
So I haven't been posting, like it's been a wild time. Like a lot has been happening, so much has happened that I'm not definitely gonna share everything on here. I'm just gonna like go through all what has been happening just to fill you in. So after COVID, or during COVID, rules changed in Vietnam, and I did not have a work permit by that time. The rules changed and I did not have a longer visa that allowed me to live here without any visa issues. And then we went through COVID situation. We were all right, and then after that they stopped issuing business visas or even doing visa extensions for people, for foreigners who were living here, and I was in that category. So I was working for a company that at that moment they were like applying for my work permit, and it was about a week when my visa was about to expire when they reached out to me and told me that I needed to notarize my TEFL again from my embassy. Like they notified me about that when I only had like 5 days for my visa to expire, and by that time the government wasn't like even issuing more extensions. So with that all, like I just asked them for my documents back, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna deal with this company anymore. If you live in Vietnam, I think you know this company. Like it's some company that owes millions and millions of money to teachers. So with all that, I was like, you know what, I need to just get out of this situation by resigning anyway. And I was like, I'll figure out my visa later on. So I started like looking for a new job, and schools were just opening, and that's when I found a new company that took me with my overstay, because I had literally like started to overstay my visa the moment that I joined this company, and I gave them all my documents to start my work permit, which took forever. Me and my overstay was a really big issue, and on top of that I'm from Africa, so If you're working in Asian countries and you're from Africa, you know the pain. You know the pain of getting a visa. You know the pain of getting proper documents to stay here. Like the other people from other countries, they just see us as if we are like, I don't know, like I just don't understand. My overstay situation was so hectic. Like I lost weight in those few months. I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. Yo, it was just a lot. It was a lot. Like even talking about it, my head is like just spinning and spinning and spinning. So by the time I joined that company, I started working, and then like my overstay started expanding and expanding. So they applied for my work permit for about 5 times, and it always got rejected. Not because I had overstayed, but because I'm from Africa, because I am a Ugandan, and it doesn't even matter that I have all the required documents to get a work permit as an English teacher. Like I got my bachelor's, I got my TEFL certificate, I got the experience, but then just because I am from Africa, they denied me the work permit for like 5 times. 5 times. My boss applied for my work permit with my co-worker, the Australian teacher. They gave him his work permit, the first trial actually, and mine was denied. So they kept trying and trying. And on the last time that they were trying, I just told my boss to return my documents. Like I was done. I was like, just give me my documents. I want to get out of here. Like I was fed up. The stress, the depression, everything was just, I just couldn't. So she was like, no, give the agent one more time, one last chance. If she fails, then I'm gonna return the documents, and then you're not gonna even pay anything. So I took a leap of faith, and that's the time that I rechecked my faith, and that's the time I started asking myself, when did I last knelt down on my knees to pray? The last time that my boss applied for my work permit, that's the time I went back to God. That's the time I fasted. That's the time I prayed for a miracle. I reached out to visa agents. I offered to pay them money, but as soon as they had that you from Africa, and on top of that, as soon as they had that you have an overstay, they were like, we can't do anything. I contacted like 12 visa agents asking them about my situation, and they're like, it's impossible, I can't. Actually most of them, they were like already blacklisted. Well, I was just trying different visa agents just to make sure that I was doing the right thing, that I wasn't out of options and stuff like that. And then I was like, you know what, I am done with it. So I was like, I prayed to God, and I was like, I think God doesn't want me to be here, to be honest. If he wanted me to be here, he would have found out a way for me by this time. But I knelt down every morning, every evening. I prayed to God. I asked him to let me stay here if it was his will, and I also asked him to, if I'm not to be here, then let his will be done. And I just left everything in God's hands, and I continued praying for about 3 weeks as I was waiting for news from the agent. But then as I was waiting, I didn't want to keep my hopes up, so I bought suitcases. I went on and ordered suitcases on Shopee. 3 suitcases, because I have lots of stuff here. So I was like, if this thing doesn't work out, I'm just gonna pack my shit, sell the rest of the things, and go back home. Like, I've tried my best. I've done everything possible, but I'm from Africa, so there is no way out of this. And I have a friend who has a South African friend. This South African friend went to Cambodia to do a visa run, and she got blacklisted. And she was in the same situation as me, like she had overstayed her visa. So South Africans are like native speakers here. So I was like, if a South African was blacklisted, what about me, a Ugandan? And with all that, I was like, Nala, buy the suitcases. So I purchased the suitcases. I started looking at flights, and I was like, okay, let's wait for next Thursday about the news of the work permit. And I started like literally packing everything, and Thursday reached. God answered my prayers. Yo, this man called God, he is a living God. He is alive. I serve a living God. Like, this man is no joke. Like, whoever says it's impossible, in God's hands, in God's eyes, it's the easiest, the smallest thing. Like, Thursday reached, all the visa agents told me, you cannot get a work permit because you're from Uganda and you overstayed your visa. So I was like I had 1% hope because of the motivation prayers that I was praying, because of the motivation I was getting while praying and fasting, and just having because I was praying that prayer, and there was this part that said, have some little faith like that of a mustard seed. So I had that mentality, and as I was praying, I was like, let me have a little faith, at least as that of small as a mustard seed. And I believed and hoped that God was gonna work out a way, even though that I wasn't gonna stay in Vietnam. At least He would find a way out for me when I get home, something like that. So Thursday arrived, and guess what came into my inbox? On Zalo, my boss sent me my work permit picture. Was I happy? I wasn't happy 100%. I was happy a little bit. I was happy that the work permit was out, but then I had an overstay for over 5 months, and I was like, I'm still gonna go to Cambodia. Even though I have this work permit, they might not allow me to come back. They might just blacklist me. So when the work permit came out, I started looking for visa agents to do my TRC. So I thought, if I have the work permit, it's okay, everything is done. Then reaching out to visa agents, asking them if they can just pay for my overstay and then apply for my TRC. Oh my God, that was the most stressful thing, even more stressful than the work permit. So I reached out to like 5 visa agents to tell them, hey, I got my work permit. Do you think you can apply for my TRC? That woman, I won't mention her because I don't want problems. She told me, yo, it doesn't matter. You're already blacklisted. Like, you have 5 months overstay. You're already blacklisted, and you're from Africa. There is nothing I can do for you. Blah blah blah. Oh my God. So agents, they can make you have a heart attack. To be honest, they can make you have a visa agents in Vietnam. They can make you have a heart attack. And the others were like, pay 40 million so that you go by the airport and you just pass by, and we'll get you someone who will help you go by, and then you won't get blacklisted. The others were like asking for 60, 70 millions, and I did not have that money. Like, whew. But then I was like, if God did it once, he's gonna do it again. I went back on my knees. I prayed to God. I had asked my boss that I was gonna try to do the visa with an agent, no, the TRS with an agent, so they gave me everything necessary needed, and I gave them to a visa agent who tried her level best to get me a visa later. So with that visa later, I was supposed to go to Cambodia and just do a U-turn and come back. She applied for it, and well, here is her response after a few days. There. It got rejected. Yes, my visa letter got rejected. Hey, when the visa letter got rejected, I was like done. I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this depression. I'm done with this pressure. I'm out of here. So I called my boss and I told her that the letter got denied, and so I think I'm gonna go back home. So basically she told me to go to the office the next day, and then I went to the office the next day to meet her, and she told me I should give her a week to figure out something. So I came back home. I had a week, and I prayed to God. Like, I literally felt like I wasn't meant to be in Vietnam. Like, I was like, I have everything needed and this is still happening. Why me? Like, I was like, God doesn't want me to be here. He needs me to be out of here. Like, something, God is communicating to me. He's telling me something and I should listen to him. So I came back. I prayed every day. I prayed to God. I communicated to him. I prayed in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. I listened to the gospel, and day by day I started like getting information from my boss asking me to go with her to the immigration. So we went to the immigration and applied for the exit visa that allows me to leave the country, and we were fined for the overstay, and we weren't sure if I was already blacklisted or not. So we did some things over there, and then the immigration told us after a few days to go back and get my exit visa. So I went, for a few days went by. I was still praying, fasting, asking God for a miracle, praying for a way out. Like, this was an impossible situation. Like, everyone was like, you can't get out of this, especially the visa agents. You cannot, you're not gonna get through this. You already blacklisted. You from Africa, you cannot. So I prayed to God again and asked him for a miracle. I told him, you're a working miracle. If you fed 2 fish and 2 bread to millions of people, if you made a way for the Israelites to pass through the lake, that big ocean, this is something that is small in your eyes. God, if it's your will, if you got me the work permit, help me get through this. I prayed, I fasted, I called his name. I believed that he's listening, and I believed when I was praying, and I was like, he's gonna do it. And we got the exit visa. I was actually like working by that time at a kindergarten, and then the next day my boss messaged me and she was like, hey, your exit visa is out, so you're supposed to leave tomorrow. Like tomorrow, the visa was expiring tomorrow. Like, they issued it today and it was expiring tomorrow. So that night I was like, hey, I can't leave my things unpacked. I can't leave anything unpacked. Yo guys, let me just pause here for a second and show you the videos when like I was packing my stuff. Like, let's first pause here and take a look at how everything went by. So this is me on the day when I'm supposed to go to Cambodia, and let me show you right now how my apartment looks. Hey. So I packed every single thing because you never know. I packed everything, mostly everything. My bags are there, and the boxes are there, and you see where my shoes are always are? Nothing at all. Nothing. And I think there are a few clothes in here that I've left just down there. And this is the wardrobe. It is disorganized because I just throw in those clothes that I don't really need. And basically I'm all set, and this is the suitcase I am taking with me, and this bag. Yeah, so let's go to Cambodia and see what happens. Fingers crossed. I trust that. To be honest, I think 1% worried that maybe something would happen, but I know for sure that I'm gonna be able to return here, and that God is in control. God is so big. Like, if God says yes, no one can say no. And I just feel like God has already put me into the situation, like, to strengthen my faith in Him, just to show me that we're going to some things to check out our faith in Him. And I believe that this is a test from God, and I believe that He's gonna make me go through it like smoothly. So I am gonna get ready, dress up, go to the office, go change money because I need to exchange the VND to dollars. And yeah, I'll see you on the way to Cambodia. Bye. Yeah guys, so I had to cut the video here, and I'm just gonna do a continuation, and that will be a part 2 of this video because it's really so long. And if you want to know what happened next, you can just subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed, and I'll see you in part 2. That's when you're gonna find out if like I managed to go out of Vietnam and managed to come back. Yeah, have a good day. Good night. Bye. Thank you.